Have you noticed the older we get, the louder the ticking becomes? After years caring for patients in their final moments as a hospice nurse, I've learned something very profound. Very few people regret not working harder, but many people, they regret waiting too long to become all that God created them to be. If that's you, don't ignore it, because what feels like a rude awakening may actually be a divine invitation. It may be God gently awakening you to the purpose He has prepared for this sacred season of life. Welcome to Upward Spirit Soulstice. I'm your host, Barbara Bedford. Today we're exploring 7 signs God may be waking you up over 50. And I encourage you to stay with me until the end because I'm going to share with you one of the most profound lessons God taught me through heartbreak and discernment, a lesson that changed the way I understand pain forever. Before we begin, I've created a free guide for you, 7 signs God is transforming you over 50. You can download it in the link. Now, let's make sense of the shaking. Sign 1, the holy disruption. The first sign you may be experiencing a divine awakening is what I call the holy disruption. In the scriptures, Thessalonians 5 speaks about sudden shifts occurring like a thief in the night. For women over 50, this can look like unexpected changes, relationships shift, careers no longer fulfill you. Routines that once brought comfort now feel confining. God may be intentionally shaking your environment because preparing you for the next season. If He didn't disrupt your comfort zone, you might remain small in a season you've already outgrown. Disruption isn't punishment, it's preparation. Sign 2, the shift from success to significance. The second sign is a profound change in desires. Suddenly, you no longer care about proving yourself to the world, climbing corporate ladders, or maintaining appearances. Material goals lose their luster. You find yourself wondering, why did I care so much about these things? Luke 12 reminds us that life does not consist in the abundance of possessions. God may be emptying your hand of worldly expectations so He can fill your spirit with eternal purpose. You begin craving legacy, meaning, authentic spiritual connection. If the world feels hollow right now, maybe God is turning your ears to hear a higher calling. Can I share something personal with you? A few years ago, I realized the outer shell of my life was beginning to crack. My roles were shifting, my energy was definitely changing, and I felt so broken at the time. I remember asking God, why am I feeling this way, God? Perhaps you're standing in the same place today. You look in the mirror or at your life and you wonder, what happened? But here's what God whispered in my heart. God doesn't break us to discard us. He breaks us to let the light out. Think of a glow stick. Cannot shine until it's bent and cracked. For the first 50 years of life, many women build protective shields. The perfect mother, the tireless professional, the caretaker, the fixer. But God may be cracking that shell because the world doesn't need your mask anymore. It needs your spirit. It needs your wisdom. Ladies, this isn't your sunset season. It's your shedding season. Sign 3, the comfort of solitude. The third sign is a growing desire for quietness and solitude. You once loved busy schedules and constant activity, but now your soul longs for stillness. A cup of coffee, your Bible, silence. This isn't loneliness, it's preparation. Luke 5 tells us that Jesus often withdrew to lonely places to pray. God may be inviting you into this sacred place so He can reveal your next assignment. Whenever I feel unsettled or uncertain, I pause and repeat, "Be still and know that I am God." And in that stillness, my soul realigns. Sign 4, an overwhelming hunger for truth. You develop a zero-tolerance policy for superficiality. Gossip becomes exhausting. Super-level conversations, they feel very empty. Your soul hungers for authenticity. Ephesians 4 speaks about spiritual maturity. You desire substance, wisdom, truth. You long to walk alongside people who are pursuing God with sincerity and depth. Sign 5, inward peace in the midst of outward chaos. Philippians 4 promises a peace that surpasses understanding. Even when life feels uncertain, there is an anchor within you. You no longer reacting the way you once did. When I release control and trusted God, I experience peace I can't explain. I realize something important. While circumstances may not change overnight, God is changing you within them. Sign 6, the resurrection of buried dreams. Old passions begin resurfacing. Dreams you buried decades ago, suddenly they come alive again. Maybe you placed your life on hold while raising children, supporting others, or building a career or not. But Romans 11 reminds us that God's gift and callings are irrevocable. Those dreams didn't die. They were waiting, and perhaps this season is exactly where they were meant to bloom. When you walk with God, all things remain possible, regardless of age. Sign 7, heightened spiritual discernment. The final sign is an increase in discernment. You begin seeing things differently. You sense what others overlook. Hebrews 5 speaks about training ourselves to distinguish good from evil. Discernment is a gift from God. Sometimes it arrives through heartbreak. Let me share one of the hardest lessons God taught me. Someone I loved deeply betrayed me. I had invested my heart, my soul, my time, my trust in this relationship. Rejection felt so devastating at the time, and I remember asking God, "Why is this happening to me, God? Why?" And in the quiet, I sensed Him saying, "I did not cause your pain. I answered your prayer for discernment. I removed the veil so you could finally see what was always there." That moment, everything changed. The pain wasn't punishment. It was rescue. God allowed me to feel the sting of truth so I could release the pain. You see, discernment often hurts because our human loyalty wants to stay where our spiritual wisdom knows we no longer belong. Don't fight the clarity God is giving you. The shaking isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to move you forward. Which of these 7 signs are you experiencing right now? Comment below and let me know. I would be so honored to walk this journey with you. If this message spoke to your spirit today, share this episode with a woman who may be searching for healing, purpose, and a divine connection with God. And if you're ready, download the 7 signs God is transforming you over 50. Subscribe and join me weekly on Upward Spirit Soulstice as we embrace the second half of life: faith, healing, clarity, and divine purpose. Change your mind, change your life with love and light. Barbara Bedford, Upward Spirit Soulstice.